You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere. This is your WBZH Daily News Roundup for the Buzz of the North, 9:10 a.m. in Hayward.
For WBZH News, I'm James Kelly. Officials from the Bayfield State Fish Hatchery say they've received $1.6 million in state funding to support facility improvements and preserve its history. According to the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources, the funding will allow the hatchery to drill a new well in an effort to improve access to quality water. The funding will also aid in the restoration of the hatchery's original building, as well as improvements to its visitor center. Construction work on the upgrades are scheduled to begin in February and should wrap up by the end of 2026. Washburn County officials say they're seeking a more constructive option regarding a roadside bait shop that had caused some controversy. According to a press release, a community member reported the bait shop to the county for zoning violations. The county zoning department determined that the structure was not permitted under current regulations and issued a notice of violation to the landowner. The decision led to pushback from other community members who expressed support for the local youth running the shop for their initiative and entrepreneurial spirit. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is investigating a report of a Barron County woman being attacked by a black bear on Saturday. According to a press release, the 69-year-old woman reported the attack at around 2 p.m. on Saturday. She was able to escape the bear and call 911 before being taken to a local hospital for treatment. DNR officials say they attempted to track the bear with the help of a trained dog, but the search was unsuccessful. They also set several bear traps in the area and plan to euthanize the bear when it is found. Proposed legislation to withhold the salaries of suspended judges was introduced in the Wisconsin State Legislature on Thursday. The bill comes following the suspension of Milwaukee Judge Hannah Dugan, who was criminally charged after being accused of helping an undocumented immigrant avoid arrest by immigration authorities in her courtroom. The legislation was co-authored by State Representative Shay Sortwell and State Senator Corey Tomczyk, who said Judge Dugan should not be continuing to collect her pay while facing federal charges. Wisconsin residents will now have one less thing to worry about as they're going through airport security. Under new regulations from the Transportation Security Administration, no Wisconsin airports will require passengers to remove their shoes while they're moving through the security line. Officials say the change was made because of a pilot program that showed the Transportation Security Administration had the equipment needed to screen travelers going through security properly while allowing them to keep their shoes on. Another weekend of nice summer weather in Wisconsin was spoiled by smoke from Canadian wildfires. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources issued an air quality advisory across the state over the weekend, with the heaviest smoke settling in the northern region. Officials say the wildfire smoke should begin to dissipate throughout the day, but residents should be on the lookout for signs of respiratory issues like shortness of breath and fatigue. People with chronic respiratory issues should limit their time outdoors and keep medication for quick relief on hand. The Duluth Seaway Port Authority has announced that the CHS Superior Terminal will cease operations in September. According to CHS officials, 23 employees at the shipping terminal will be laid off when it officially closes on September 8th. The shipping terminal stores and ships about 20 million bushels of grain each year. In a statement, Duluth Seaway Port Authority officials said they were disappointed in the company's decision to cease operations and would be working with the city of Superior to find another solution for continued use of the terminal. The Spooner City Council considered treatment options for the invasive emerald ash borer at their meeting on Tuesday. The invasive insect has now spread across the state, reaching the last few uninfected counties in the northwest Wisconsin region last year. City officials say there are about 130 ash trees in public areas, but they have not been infested with the invasive insect yet. The City Council plans to gather more information about potential options and side effects before informing residents as to what treatment plan they will put in place. A recent United Way study found 1 in 3 Wisconsin families are struggling to afford basic expenses. According to the study, about 24% of Wisconsin households are identified as ALICE families by the organization, meaning asset-limited, income-constrained, and employed. The designation covers families with enough income to remain above the federal poverty line but are unable to afford basic needs like housing, childcare, and transportation. The study also found the number of ALICE families in the state has grown by about 12% since 2010. Months after the completion of the most expensive state Supreme Court race in American history, Judge Chris Taylor has announced record fundraising for next year's election. This week, Judge Taylor's campaign announced it has raised nearly $584,000 with nearly 4,800 contributions from all 72 Wisconsin counties during the first fundraising period of the campaign. That mark is significantly higher than the roughly $460,000 raised by Justice-elect Susan Crawford's campaign through this point last year. For WBZH News, I'm James Kelly.
The Brewers draft is underway. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Baseball, the MLB draft continues today. In the first round, the Brewers selected third baseman Andrew Fisher of the Tennessee Volunteers, who scouts say has modeled his swing after the Phillies' Bryce Harper.
I'm working on my swing in the cage a ton. I'm trying to emulate Harper as much as I can. Obviously, he has different rhythm in the box and different approach sometimes, but, I mean, how could you not watch a guy like that hit?
In all, the Brewers drafted 5 players, 2 infielders, 3 pitchers. Yesterday, the crew beat the Nationals 8-1. Freddie Peralta giving up just 1 run in 6 2/3 innings. Peralta asked about heading into the All-Star break, just a game behind the first-place Cubs.
I think that we are in great position right now. We're doing great because we are not thinking about how far we are from the first place.
NBA, the Bucks introducing Miles Turner, who showed off his new jersey.
See me this bus green. Heard my girlfriend tell me I look good in green, so it's going to be a seamless feat.
With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. If you thought it was hard to cancel a streaming subscription before, brace yourselves because it's about to get even more difficult. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the Federal Trade Commission's click-to-cancel option has been struck down by a federal appeals court. The FTC has tried to make it equally as easy to cancel a subscription as it is to sign up, so expect much more frustration. The whole issue started with Amazon, which was accused of tricking customers into signing up for Prime, then making it extremely difficult to cancel. I guess we know how Bezos paid for that wedding. Here's a Hollywood beat just for me. I hope you like it too. The show Bosch is coming back by way of another spin-off. Ballard will drop on Amazon Prime like Bosch and Bosch Legacy did previously, both of which are now kaput. Maggie Q will play Renee Ballard. Titus Welliver will return as Harry Bosch, who will assist Ballard with cold cases from time to time. All 10 episodes of Ballard dropped a couple days ago and are available on Prime. Mariska Hargitay has experienced an almost unprecedented run as an actor on the show Law & Order Special Victims Unit. And now she has a director's credit as well. She is the creative force behind a documentary about her late mother, Jane Mansfield, called My Mom Jane. The Hollywood Reporter is now saying the documentary will be eligible for the Oscars since it's been revealed that it had a short theatrical run at a North Hollywood movie theater last week. My Mom Jane is available to stream on HBO and is getting very good reviews. Sarah Jessica Parker feels she had to defend herself for not endorsing a political candidate publicly. The And Just Like That and Sex and the City star told Nicole Wallace on her podcast she didn't believe social media was the place for quick political conversations. To her credit, Parker says she's not going to go into an argument unless she is totally educated on an issue. Imagine that. There is only one new release this weekend, but it's a big one. I'm talking about, of course, the highly anticipated Superman, which according to Rotten Tomatoes, critics seem to approve of and audiences are raving about. The film is directed by James Gunn and stars David Cornsweet as the title character. Joining him in the cast is the marvelous Miss Maisel's Rachel Brosnahan, Bradley Cooper, and Nicholas Hoult. In the latest installment, Lex Luthor is a tech billionaire. Sounds about right. And since this is the age of the re-release, and if you're lucky enough to live in a city where there is a limited showing, check out One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which is celebrating its 50th anniversary and is playing in various cities. The film stars much younger versions of Jack Nicholson and Danny DeVito and has won 5 Oscars for Best Picture and 1 for Nicholson as Best Actor. Let's go to the movies. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
It is going to be mostly sunny and a little muggy today. Our high in the mid to upper 80s this afternoon. Tonight, it'll be mostly clear. We'll drop down into the mid-60s. Tomorrow, chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms. Mid to upper 80s with more storms likely tomorrow night into Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it's 69.
That's your WBZH Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at buzzofthenorth.com. The national news cycle never stops. but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.